Hello, my darlings, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, ATL By Night, Chapter 6, Bloody Cannon Fire. Let's welcome our vampires.
I'm Brittany Trambauer-Smith, and I play Melisande.
My name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulrich.
I'm Ian E. Muller, and I play Jackson.
Hello, my name is KP, and I play Gordon.
I'm Samantha McLarty, and I'm playing Alice Crawford.
I'm Jessica Skellington, and I'm playing Betty Crawford.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. As always, a huge thank you to our sponsors. You can check out our link tree in the chat right now and in the description of this video on YouTube. And don't forget to use the code ATL by Night at Die Hard Dice for 10% off. And KP tonight is actually wearing one of our sponsors, Various Clothing. So make sure to check out their wonderful collection online. So I think that is all of my notes for tonight. So why don't we sit back and relax, and let's tell a vampire story. Our kindred, they had picked up a new lost childer, Tiffany Marquette, at Grady Memorial Hospital. She didn't quite go with them just yet, but she's really into the idea of a vampire society, especially as a Toreador. And Cirrus finally came home, though he is a little bit different than when the coterie remembers him. He's actually cracking jokes and talking to someone that he has affectionately named Katie. For those that will remember from season 1, this is Catherine, the Muppet-obsessed Malkavian that he diablerized. Nevertheless, he's home and he's safe. But tonight, we start in Alpha's penthouse, where Mel, you have joined him finally to have your meeting. Alpha's grabbed himself a beer and sat down on the couch across from you. And he says, all right, so I've seen the little constitution that they wrote, bunch of dreamy bullshit. I understand why Dot was like, let's just get this done and then we'll start rebuilding and write it later, but I thought they were gonna amend it more before now.
Well, it's funny you should say that, and Mel's gonna pull out a really well organized Leslie Knope style binder.
Amazing. Full
of comparisons of particular language to other Camarilla documents.
Okay.
Obviously also referencing American and some other national documents, and with red lines and all the stuff, and there are sections, right? There's one section that's freedom, there's one section that is personal rights, there's one section that is equality and inclusion. Each section has out, and she kind of sets it down next to him, and she says, I agree. I thought that this would be something we could do a little sooner than now, but here we are. But before we get into that, and then she's going to specifically flip to the section that's personal freedom / the ability over one's body.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to, pull out a very, handwritten note. And she's going to look at him and she's going to say, I had to write down my thoughts before I came here because I was afraid that if I didn't, I would sound a little unhinged.
I can understand that.
I think you already know what I have to talk to you about.
Okay. I'm aware, and that's why I got a beer.
I heard of this happening. Didn't know it was a real thing. I thought it was just chatter around the Camarilla. But to find out that we're actually brainwashing people to be somebody different than who they are doesn't sit quite right with me.
I understand, and I think maybe there's definitely two ways to look at what Tilly does. Because the Sabaton themselves does brainwashing. That's what they do. That's how they turn shovel heads. That's how they make people want to fight against their own self-interest. Do you know what an anti-tribu is?
No, I don't think so.
Anti-tribe. It means whatever your clan was when you went into the Sabbat, you aren't anymore. The Sabbat prides being Sabbat over being clan. So a Bruja, anti-tribu, doesn't give one goddamn shit about what the Bruja care about. They care about what the Sabbat cares about. So, I completely understand your reservations. I just want you to understand that can you brainwash a brainwash? Because Pippa was a Tremere anti-tribu.
Well, it'd be one thing if somebody had the ability to say no to that process, but I understand that they don't.
When it comes to Lost Childer, they get a choice. Unless they're particularly dangerous. And then usually the choice is you can do this or we kill you.
I see.
But
All of which feels very,
would you rather I blood hunt all the Sabbat straight off the street and never give any of them a chance to do anything else?
no, I just,
That's why this is a tricky situation.
sure.
But it's my understanding that Tilly acted emotionally when it came to Pippa, and she is being dealt with for her decision.
Is there any way that we could write something into this new document that addresses how people are decided whether they can be rehabbed or not?
I think that's fair.
Something more official, something that requires a panel to
Guidelines.
review. Yes, that would be preferable for me.
I agree.
Great. All right, so let's get to the real meat of the story. And so
All
she
right.
flips through, and I guess.
And yeah, and he's going through it, and he's like, I'm not one to say anarchs make any kind of sense. Hell, half their problem is they can't even decide what they want to be, just what they don't want to be. That's why it's called an anarch movement. If they ran out of things to fight, I don't think they'd have much left. But between you and me, they got some good ideas. And given what we've had to deal with recently, I think some more flexible ideas are what's needed. Because I heard you got a little meeting with them tomorrow. They got your boy. You know what they're going to try and do when they talk to you.
Well, and if they had caught me 2 weeks earlier, they would have been successful. Sorry to tell you that, Your Grace.
I don't take that any kind of way.
Well, it was...
I would have understood you 100%. I don't believe in blood hunting anarchs. But Renashri Camarilla ain't a real Camarilla. The way I see it, there's not sides to this. There's only Atlanta and what we do with it. Now we just need them to stop causing domestics and fucking Waffle Houses. Clearly trying to start some shit.
I have a couple traumatized waitresses that I'm dealing with currently.
Yeah. I think we can work out something, so, just hear them out. See how it goes.
What kind of how are you willing to respond to their demands?
If you can give me a baron who won't shoot me in the face when I see him, I'll give you a prince willing to talk.
I will do my best at diplomacy to make that happen.
Look, this city went to shit when Adventure was in charge. So, maybe the good thing about us being Outer Clan is we can see shit better.
I was just going to mention how funny it is that it's you and I that's coming together to write this more inclusive and well thought out document. Who would have thought 100 years ago?
Honestly, I could have thought it. This city was run by the higher clans in the final nights, and look what they did with it. Almost entire vampire population wiped the fuck out.
It's never good to have elites in positions of power.
No, maybe we need some scrappy people to keep this shit together. Keep this goddamn dinghy boat over Stockton afloat.
Just another reason why I'm so thankful you are the prince and not me.
Yeah. Lord knows this would have been in the free states of Atlanta soon. But have your meeting, hear them out. We'll talk when you get back.
All right.
And so with that, you guys further go over your document for the rest of the night. And we're going to move now to the next night, down in College Park, where a coterie is waiting for the arrival of Melisande. Gordon, you've been holding Mark her ghoul here for months, feeding him decently as you have no desire to kill him right now. And dead ghouls don't really bring people to your side, after all. But you need some questions answered as to how and why a Bruja of all clans ended up not only in the Camarilla, but as the keeper of Elysium. You have with you Alice and Betty, a set of ministry twins you've met along the way, who hold a special place for you in your undead heart for their brutal style of dealing with the Camarilla. Your Reeve Diesel is out for tonight with his finger on the button of a particularly deadly display, should this meeting go sour. During your time holding Mark, you've made a deal with a local morgue operator to sever a hand from a freshly deceased person to send as a warning. When that didn't draw Mel out, you had Mark send a video to say he was safe. She clearly operates a bit differently than regular Bruja. In its own way, it can be kind of infuriating. She holds a large position in the Camarilla, but doesn't seem to be trying to destroy it. So that must be answered for. So if you could all please give me a rouse check to start your evening. Roll 1 hunger die.
That is a 9.
Okay, so you passed. You did not, you get hungrier. Okay, so twins, you have gotten hungrier. Great. So you guys are starting tonight at a 2. Gordon, you're starting at a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys are waiting in your meeting spot, we'll say for now. And Mark's just kind of sitting there, he is like, he's managed to pick up a couple rocks and start drawing tic-tac-toe on the floor, and he's like kind of just playing tic-tac-toe by himself. Just waiting.
X top corner.
Okay. Mark's X top corner.
Well, it's your move now.
Bottom corner.
I'm bored.
Mel will be here. She will.
Well, that better be true. Very soon.
I know. I mean, not that it hasn't been great hanging out with you. She will be here.
I'm a bad kidnapper. I feel like I'm just doing a terrible job at this. I mean, I feel like he doesn't understand his position.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think that, maybe there's something that we can do to make him understand just exactly what his position is.
I mean, the hand was a nice gesture, right? But I feel like maybe...
But it wasn't his.
That's true. That's true. Mm.
Right? We should send his hand next time, right?
Too soft, Gordon dear.
Times made me a little soft, I suppose, but... Well, maybe we'll see after tonight, right?
You know what? Mel doesn't show up. I'll give you both of my hands.
That's the spirit. I like you. I like him.
I mean, you could always start with just a finger. That way you've got 10 gifts that you can send.
Right.
We did have in the old days where we would sever limbs, sever hands, dip him in salt water. Usually that made people talk, but I don't know. Ever since I've been turned, it's been, nothing seems to be as effective.
Higher pain threshold, I think.
Mm.
Ears are fun.
Ears are fun. Mm.
Oh.
They make nice little
old-fashioned
necklaces.
They do.
Seal hauling.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I figured.
I would
No.
have liked him on my crew if he wasn't on the wrong side, but...
Yeah. I don't really get the sides, to be perfectly honest. I just know Mel. I just work for Mel. That's pretty much all I give a shit about.
Sometimes life's unfair, I'd say, but, you know, we work with the hands that we're dealt with, and unfortunately...
And it's gonna be 2 of mine.
Maybe a foot or two.
Well, TikTok.
Yeah, she'll be getting here soon. I promise.
I'm growing impatient.
And so, Gordon, you do receive a message from Diesel, and he tells you that they are in position and they are ready to go. You only have to message him and let him know.
I send a thumbs up emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Man, technology, man. I must say, I feel sorry for the Camarilla for not really considering it at all.
Right? Like,
This one does.
What?
Yeah, they have like a whole cell phone network.
Color me shocked.
Oh, looks like they have that
That's all I
coming
know
from-
because I had to get a special cell phone for it.
I'm impressed.
I know.
So is it like rude if I ask like what the Anarch shit is?
I mean, if you look in the toilet, you probably find it.
That's fair. I set myself up for that one. No, like I said, I just work for Mel. That's all I know. I drive.
Such
I make sure
an
she's
exciting life.
safe. Okay.
So exciting.
Like I said, she's my charge and it's my job to keep her safe. And I'm understanding that is pretty much with no one. No one. And I like to understand what's happening.
Well, to kill time, I say.
Yeah, sure.
Let's just say we're everything that the Camarilla doesn't stand for. Order, rules, regulations, how we should do things, how we shouldn't do things, what kind of punishment you should receive if you don't do something. Bureaucracy. Sound about right?
A lot less.
Boring.
I was going to say red tape, but boring works as well.
Okay. So they're rules and you're not.
We value freedom. We believe that we should be allowed to lead our life as we feel fit.
Okay.
We are individuals. We understand what our limitations are, what our capabilities are, and who gives them the damn right to tell us what to do with it? Now, mind you, we're not as grotesque as them Sabbats. We don't want to use our
those.
abilities for anything that is too
Famous.
uncouth.
Yeah, they've really made a mess
I
of
was gonna
it.
say zealous. They're a little They're a little bit extra, like extra.
So,
Okay.
to summarize, we practically hate the Camarilla.
Okay. So then you probably really hate their school, right?
That's the big part.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact that they are indoctrinating people.
That's kind of a harsh word.
Is it though?
What
Says
do
the
you
ghoul.
call it?
I chose my job.
Oh, look at you. Aren't you lucky?
So you like being somebody's little bitch.
Adorable.
That's so.
I worked in the Secret Service. I've been a bitch to worse.
We can make you our bitch.
I know. I would love to get my hands on you.
Ladies, I've
Oh,
been
no.
married for 30 years. You're lovely, but no.
That doesn't matter.
No.
A woman that can actually pay her bills and care for kids is more attractive than whatever you're putting on.
There's ways to change that.
Oh,
You're just only riling them up.
I can tell.
we're gonna have fun with that one. She
know.
doesn't show.
It's much more fun when they put up the
I like setting you up for disappointment when Mel arrives.
We'll see about that.
Well, when is she arriving? Are we just... Is it another no-show? Just another night of us just...
Are you not familiar with Atlanta traffic? Like, we're in College Park, for fuck's sake.
Oh, we've lived in Atlanta our entire lives. We've seen it. We know.
I feel
If
like
she
you
wants
would-
to get here,
It's
she'll
not
get here.
hard.
It's beginning of the month. Those fucking cops are probably just trying to meet a quota. I'd be surprised if she hasn't gotten at least one speeding ticket.
Ugh.
Rules, remember?
Again.
We have to follow the rules.
Well, you also didn't put a time on the invitation.
Did we not?
so-
I thought we put a time. We didn't put a
I
time.
wasn't the one in charge of
I
it.
didn't put the time.
Nightfall seems quite appropriate. I mean, that seems... Usually nightfall is after dusk. I feel like that's an
That's-
appropriate time. It's well past that at this point.
Clearly, it's dark.
Clearly.
I'm starting to understand the difference in your groups now.
Oh, is that a dig?
I think it was.
You know, I feel like I should start with more fingers now. I feel just...
I think the
just
pinky needs to go.
Pinky, why not middle finger and just stop my attitude altogether?
No, take the thumb.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's the best part.
But
That's
no,
my
no.
texting finger.
Because if you take the thumb, then there's not.
No, true.
Though I haven't had my phone in 4 months. Good God, I probably have like 8 updates.
Hard to drive when you don't have a thumb.
It's hard to do a lot of things when you don't have a thumb.
Kind of Secret Service training. I have to learn how to drive with my foot. In case I'm
Take
It's a
that too.
fascinating one.
I know. I kind of just want to sit and just pick his brain, literally.
Yeah,
Well, if she doesn't
say that.
show, then have at her.
I could do an autopsy.
It's fascinating to watch her work. I'm not kidding.
I
She's
imagine
had
I won't be
years of
doing much
experience.
watching.
No.
Oh, no. She can make it. She can.
Oh,
make
you'll
it
be
so-
awake.
Yes.
The entire time.
Although would that be considered a surgery, not quite an autopsy?
At that point, it would be considered a surgery. Exploratory.
Fair.
Exploratory. Yes.
It's really funny that you guys have such an opinion about indoctrination and rules and bureaucracy when you're practically getting aroused at the thought of cutting me open while I'm alive.
I don't see the similarities.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't either.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Well,
She'll be here. She'll be here. And
you've been
with
saying that for the last 1 hour.
And with that, we will go back to the group across town in the penthouse where Mel and Aaron and Jackson, you all are currently home, getting ready to go. Among the stacks of mail from the house, you did manage to find an invitation, crudely written, inviting you to the Delta Flight Museum tonight, and a handwritten note from Mark that says 11 p.m. on the invitation. Y'all have gotten up and gotten ready, so if you could please give me your rouse checks for tonight.
I'm good.
I'm
Okay, so Aaron is hungrier. And Mel, the invitation said that you could only bring 2 people, as Gordon will have only 2 people. And it says that this is what is fair. So you just have Jackson and Aaron with you. The two gangrels and probably the only other clans that would understand this kind of situation. So how will you all be heading there tonight?
I don't have a vehicle anymore.
I do.
So, okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Plus, I'll just leave it at that.
Do you want us going as people or as not people?
No, go as people. These are anarchs. They know what's happening. They're going to be familiar with your clan. You should just come as you are, please.
Yeah.
The last thing we need to do is provoke them just by trying to trick them. I don't think any of that's beneficial to this conversation.
Storyteller,
Yes.
while we're talking, I am texting.
Okay.
And I am texting emoji name,
Okay.
which would be Jesse, the other Anarch, who I have been in contact with. And I'm just going to text the address that I'm going to be driving to and say, is this a trap?
Okay. You get a message back from Jesse, and they say, not as far as I know, but it's Gordon. Always assume it's a trap.
While this is happening, while we're talking, Mel is packing like a duffel bag full of like goodies. So like wet wipes, like, you know,
Like a go bag?
like a go bag, but not for her, for Mark, and like a fresh set of like new like clean sweats, like an updated like a most recent newspaper, a new cell phone, like just all of the little things, and then like on the very top, like a little handwritten letter that she put into a little thing, and then she's going to leave it. If he ends up being dead or whatever, she'll leave it, and that will be her way of kind of paying homage.
okay.
So.
And less emotional than that, I messaged Sybil in the book. Can you get me a gun?
Sybil writes back, Rudy Tooty point and shooty, be there in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mel,
Yeah.
how do you want this to go?
Well, if you'd asked me a month ago, I would have told you I might be leaving you guys behind.
That, not necessarily.
But
I won't elaborate on that right now.
I feel like I'm in an Anarch sandwich right now. This is not good.
well, I mean, I'm not. I haven't, and I'm here, and I take my position with the Camarilla very seriously. But
But they make good points.
they make good points, and they don't torture people into submission to their way of thinking. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to get Mark, and whatever happens as a result of that is not going to be me jumping ship just yet.
Gotcha.
So I don't want it to be violent, if that's what you're asking.
That might not be up to us. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I will defend myself, but I'm not going to be I'm not going to provoke it. And I think it would be best if you guys didn't either.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
no,
going
no.
in with full diplomacy hat on now.
You're captaining this ship.
Yeah.
But if they provoke us, or Mark is not in as good a condition as we were led to believe, just say the word.
Do you know anything about who we're meeting?
No, I don't.
A little bit.
You do. I don't.
Very little.
Enough to give us an edge or a heads up?
Personality traits, style of communication.
Not as stable as I would like.
Oh, Jesus.
And we should be prepared to be walking into a trap, even if it's not.
Well, I will, I think, leave me behind, you guys get out of there. That's how that needs to go, if things should get really bad.
No offense. No.
Well, you may not have a choice, but I am not going to be the catalyst to both of you guys also being, you know.
Everything will be just fine, I'm sure.
I think so too. I've been preparing for this for a couple weeks now, so.
Well, let's see what condition Mark is in before we make any rash decisions.
Yeah.
And
Wait for my signal though. I would prefer it if
yeah,
we didn't
that's
start a fight that wasn't already started for us.
yeah.
We went through one blood hunt from Lydia. If we can get like a punch card for blood hunt from Anarchs, then not too bad.
No, I prefer not to do that. I would have
Same.
preferred not to have done the first one, but here we are.
Uh,
Not to say that it wasn't entertaining, but I
sure
would
it
have
was
preferred
great
us to avoid it in the first
learning
place.
about
As you
it
guys are
later.
talking, Sybil just comes out of the shadow of the corner, and she has like an armful of like pistols and bigger guns. Some are standard, just standard issue, pick it up at a pawn shop, and then some are the SI weapons. And she just kind of shows up in the room. She's like, "Oh, hey.
What the fuck?
It's fine. It's fine. I asked for a favor.
Aaron,
I owe Cirrus.
I
I'm
didn't-
scared. Okay, I need
You're
to
not
pay him
taking
back.
this
no,
to this.
goes straight into Cirrus's room.
great. Please, just
Okay.
don't drop it there,
we're giving the
Sybil.
person who talks to the imaginary friend firearms now.
We're giving them to him so that way I don't become the next target.
I didn't know what to get you, so I just grabbed like
Smorgasbord.
Yes, all of them is great. Just drop it on his bed, please. Thank you.
which room?
First one on the right.
Okay, and she disappears back into the shadow.
Every time.
That's not good. That can't be good.
I realize you know him way better than I do, but he is talking to an imaginary friend a lot. That is concerning. I realize I am dating a Malkavian, but it's a little different.
Maybe he needs to go and see Tilly.
You know what? Actually, this is. I'm gonna send a text later.
Okay, you mentioned Malkavian. Maybe she can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
would-
the other opportunity there.
But
yeah.
last time I texted Coda and asked for help, it was with Bug You. And
Oh.
that didn't go great.
Storyteller, I've never actually met Coda, have I?
You have not. Only your doppelganger met Coda.
Yeah.
Great first impressions. Okay.
Mm. Does she like not you?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll table the
to be
Sierra
fair,
stuff.
to
for-
be fair, so did I. But
And you
anyway.
guys have received word from the doppelgangers that they are having a wonderful life on the coast of South Carolina.
Fantastic.
Good for them.
Good.
Well deserved.
Anyway.
Let's
So
get
how
ready.
are you
Okay.
guys getting? Sybil does pop back in and go, "Okay, I dropped everything off. Why do you need so many guns?"
You brought, I guess, interest, for my long overdue. I needed to repay Cirrus for the gun that he let me borrow that I lost to the SI. So it's fitting that
Guns is
they
currency.
gave me back one. 12.
For all I know, I probably just gave him his gun back.
There we go.
I just sort of went in the armory and just started grabbing shit because I don't know this stuff.
Could you keep an eye out just if you start to see weird things, weird people in the facility? Just let me know.
What, everyone
Could
is
we-
weird
yeah, we might
there.
need to
What
find
are you
weird.
talking about?
We can talk about that later.
Something that you haven't already seen?
Sure.
Okay. I'll get Jason to keep an eye out.
Anything you think that might help us might help the Garu, because SI might be working. There's a lot of humans versus non-humans going on.
Okay. I haven't seen any werewolves.
That's at least they're just focused on kindred, so that's
Okay.
best. We don't want a
They are opening
cabin
a
in the
new
woods
branch,
scenario.
by the way.
Huh?
They're the Ignatius Pharmaceuticals. I was just kind of skulking around, and I saw building plans for a new building.
Can you find out where?
Where?
I can try.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Okay.
Just be careful.
Baller. I'll figure it out. All right.
Great.
Bye. She just disappears into the shadows again.
Cool.
All right, let's
Okay.
load up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you guys getting there?
My car.
Okay.
And on the way out, really quickly, Mel is going to grab like a vial that maybe Anton had left somewhere that she could have grabbed, like a vial with the top on it. Would there be one somewhere that she would have access to?
There are blood bags in the fridge if that's what you're looking for, or just an empty vial.
I need an empty vial.
There absolutely are empty vials
Great.
all over this house.
Great. So she grab one of those and yeah.
Okay, so please make me your Dex and Drive roll. It's Atlanta traffic. We have to add risk.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah.
How many?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any critical?
No.
Okay.
So you get the HOV lane is what she's saying.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually are doing well for a bit, and then you realize, like, once you get into the downtown area, you're out of the Peach Pass, and HOV is allowed, and so you just whip into the HOV
because
lane.
contrary to the previous conversation, Jackson does speed. He doesn't give a shit.
But yeah, you're able to hit the HOV lane and actually make good time.
Gotcha.
And you guys are cutting through the city. There are a lot of speed traps. It's the beginning of the month.
You see
But they
Jackson
tend to not care
slowing
about
down,
HOV.
speeding up, slowing down, speeding up.
And while in the car, Mel filled a vial with some of her blood just for safety purposes.
Okay. Yeah, it has been a while since you've seen Mark.
Yeah. So don't know. Need to be prepared. So.
And Mel, you get a text from Alpha that just says good luck. And then you get one that says worst case scenario, throw him in Lake Lanier.
Oh. Mel's not gonna respond. But she will drop a pin. So like a live location pin. So
Okay.
he's able to see where they are. And it's gonna be expiring at the end of the day. So 24 hours.
Okay. All right, and so you guys drive through the city and you arrive to the Delta Flight Museum. There's small signs, almost similar to the movie signs all over Georgia, little yellow signs that just say CAM on the top with arrows pointing, leading you
Are
through
you
the
kidding
facility.
me?
And you follow them and you pass a lot of the main museum hangars towards kind of these side hangars that don't look as nice. They're the ones where you can tell that they're doing some of the refurbishments. So they're a little off the path. You go kind of behind a lot of the touristy hangars. And Gordon, you hear a car pulling up outside in the gravel. And
Fucking last.
And so, you know it's got to be them because you made sure that this place was closed and it's a private film rental.
Got it.
And are we there on time for the 11 o'clock that Mark wrote on the
Yes,
card?
you guys have
Great.
arrived at
I just
That's
wanted to
good
make
to
sure.
know.
I wanted to make sure. Oh, don't worry.
You guys have arrived at 10:55.
Great.
You're not early, you're
Aggressively
late.
on time, yeah.
And you guys can see the lights kind of coming through the big bay hangar doors. And in this room, you've got Mark in a side office, but in the larger area, there are 2 old B-52s that are kind of in various states of disrepair. They're having pieces re-added to them, little bit of rust removal. So it's a very inactive room, but there are 2 large planes in here.
Storyteller?
Yes.
As we're like getting out of my car, but before we go in, I am going to rouse and actually activate vicissitude.
Okay.
That is successful. Very successful. And I am actually just going to do something I've done before, which is underneath my clothing, I am increasing the density and hardness of my skin
Okay.
and bones
Okay.
to increase damage resistance.
Okay. And Aaron, are you still doing your heart trick?
I will plan to, yes. Just
Okay.
kind of move around, slosh things around a bit.
Okay. Mel, is there anything you want to have prepped before going in?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Everything's gonna go perfectly
Nope.
fine.
Nope.
Knock on
And-
wood. There's no wood.
For our Anarchs, is there with hearing them outside, are there any abilities you would like to turn on or activate or prepare in any way?
Probably heightened senses.
Okay.
And
Which I
possible.
will also be activating.
Okay.
Can I do both heightened senses and sense the unseen at
Yes.
the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Add your aspects. I'm still trying to learn how to
That
roll
is
physically
okay.
for all of this. So roll 20. I mean, VTTs have been fantastic. And they automatically do everything for me. So I'm just like, okay. So for aspects or for heightened sense, add your aspects rating to all perception rolls.
Yes. So that'll be how many dots you have in Auspex when you make a roll. So, for example, if you make a Wits and Awareness roll, you will add how many dots you have in Auspex to that. So you have 2 dots in Auspex. You
Yes.
will add 2 additional dice to your Wits and Awareness rolls for Sense the Unseen.
So a total of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many dots do you have in Wits and how many do you have in Awareness?
Yeah.
Wits I have 3.
Mm-hmm.
And awareness is 3 as well.
So you will actually have 8 dice.
Oh, fun.
And make sure to swap out one of the dice for your hunger dice.
Oh yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 6 and above, right? Is success, right? Okay, so that is 2 success.
Okay, and you can also, if you wanted at this point, you can choose to burn a willpower, which will take your willpower down by 1 point, and you can re-roll 3 of your regular dice, not your hunger dice.
Okay. Yes, I'd like to
Okay.
do that. Because then that 0 would be nice. And you
If
said
you-
3 of them? Or 2? How many dice can I reroll?
3.
3. Okay.
And let me know if you get any that are 10s.
Yeah. It's an additional 2, so total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 success.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And any of them 10s?
Oh no, sorry, I lied. No, I'm thinking wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4 success. Sorry, 4 successes.
And are any
No,
10s?
no
Okay.
tens.
And storyteller.
Yes.
I'm just, once we are out of the car, I'm going to activate heightened senses and just take a good look around, seeing if there's any traps, anything out of place, anything that raises suspicion.
Yeah, do Wits and Awareness.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. There is nothing out of place. You can hear 3 voices inside. Or maybe it's 2 voices. 2 of the voices are rather similar, so it might be one person just talking more.
Big female voice.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Can I use? I would like to use shape change
Okay.
and transform into a snake, and I would like to slither up and around Mark's neck. And
Okay.
just stay there.
Okay, so giving Mark a nice little choker necklace. Okay, so Mark now has. And how would you describe your snake form?
I think I'm gonna pretty much take essentially a kind of like a ball python,
Okay. Ball python
but a
look?
little bit more green.
Okay, so a green ball python. Wonderful. And Betty, is there anything you want to have activated or prepped before you go in?
Not right now.
Okay. All right. And so, as you guys walk up, there is a huge hangar door.
Are they walking in now? Do we see
You
them walking
can
in?
you can hear that they are walking up the gravel. They have not opened the hangar bay door
Okay.
yet.
Do we knock on the hangar door? What? Okay. I'm just gonna walk up to it and stand there.
I open it.
Just,
Oh.
and it does take a.
I say we have a big door.
What is your strength rating?
3 currently.
Oh, mine's
could be
5.
higher.
Mine's 5. Should I be the one that
Open your
opens the
own
door?
So at a 3, you do have to
Like I
You-
said, it can be higher.
you let out a bit of a to push it.
Yeah.
And Mel, you do see that this door is quite heavy.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like put a hand on it and help you open it.
Yeah. And these bay doors, they're very much, once you get them moving, they're good. But it takes a bit of a shove to get it started.
And as we're doing it, I'm gonna be like, this feels very invasive not to be asked to come in and just opening somebody's door. I don't know.
It's a museum.
I guess that's fair.
And so you guys, you hear voices outside, Gordon, and you hear them arguing over the heaviness of the door.
We have opened the door. I feel like we should have opened the door.
Yeah.
Do I hear that?
Whatever.
Yes.
I start laughing while I'm opening the door. I'm like, that's how. Okay.
And so, with a loud sound, the door swings open, and you see who you know to be Mel, with two gentlemen with her. From what you know of the shepherds and basic descriptions that you've managed to get, these are probably the two gangrel. And for the rest of you, you see a very snazzy dressed gentleman. And,
A little ostentatious, a little...
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you see a woman in black and green, and Mark is in the corner of the room, sitting in a chair with a small ball python around his neck.
The tail's just kind of flicking.
And that is where we are going to take our break. So get some water, stretch your legs. We'll be back in a few minutes. And so now, our shepherds, you have entered a large airplane hangar. There are 2 large B-52s that are currently in refurbishment. This room just looks like a mechanic's room. It's not a museum room. And Mark, as we said, is in the back with a green ball python around his neck, but he otherwise is unharmed and seems fine. Seems a little annoyed. That's about it. And Anarchs, they have opened the door and entered, and you all have the powers prepared that you said last time. So, yes.
At that point, you just see Gordon walk up and goes, "Our guests are here. Our guests are here. Look at them. Hello." Let me guess. Keeper? Keeper. There, that's the one. Oh, hope the traffic wasn't too bad. I feel like we've been waiting a bit for you to come here, but I feel there's no way they would be intentionally late, right?
I wouldn't
I'm
imagine
sorry.
so.
11 o'clock is what time our invitation said. Is it not? I believe it's, what time is it, gentlemen?
We said
10:58.
Oh, it's 10:58. I'm sorry. I thought we were on
And Mark
time.
at this point is just grinning.
What did I know that Mark sent that? Like, did I have it sent?
Yeah,
by
you
him?
made him address it and sent it because you figured it coming in Mark's handwriting
Okay.
would be better.
I stare at Mark. Would have been nice to know what the exact time was. We wouldn't have been sitting here. You would have been more comfortable
So
instead of on the
you've
cold
been
floor.
holding me for 4 months.
I mean, it would have been more in a padded cell, perhaps.
So at this point, Mel is like standing up straighter, and she's like brushed herself off, and she's got her hands behind her back, and she's like, "Where would you like for us to go?"
I mean, is this not a good place?
I
You
figured,
do have some chairs towards the back of the room. Like they're just like there's not a lot of comfortable seating here since it's a mechanic's room, but there's like one of those like church racks of the metal folding chairs.
I mean, have a seat.
whatever you prefer.
We're trying to be hospitable.
Sure. So she's just gonna lead the way and go sit down.
He's just going to like sit on like, I'm sure there's like a bunch of ledges or something. He's just going to
Yeah.
like, he's a goddamn pirate. He's just
Yeah.
he's going to be wherever he wants to sit. So, here you are. Oh, my apologies. We haven't introduced ourselves. Would you like to?
I am Betty Crawford. Pleasure to meet you.
Don't mind the snake. My name is I'm blanking my own name. Hold up. I was like, playing part. My name is Gordon, if you didn't know already. And this is Mark. Mark, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mark.
He's
Are you okay, Mark?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's this? What's going on here?
He's been into snakes lately, and we bought him a pet.
Uh-huh.
Alice's
right?
tongue just flickers.
Yes, I named it Alice.
I see.
Well,
You called me here, sir. So I'm assuming there's something that you would like to discuss, and we're prepared.
to an extent, yes. Before we continue, let me ask you something. Do you know, are you particularly interested in history at all?
Seeing as how I've lived through a lot of it, yes.
Good, good, good. Then you must know about your own Bruja.
I do. I remember the note that you sent me with the severed hand. Yes.
Good. So then I need to ask you, why the fuck are you in the Camarilla? And let's not even forget the Camarilla. No. I mean, I can maybe pass under the rug if you were there as some lowly subordinate somewhere hidden away from view, but here you are, the Keeper. That too with the Bruja Prince of all of them.
The Princess Gangrel.
Gangrel, sorry. But story show.
Yes.
Bruja and Gangrel are also two people who are more.
Yeah, they are out of the Camarilla.
Yes. So that too with a Gangrel prince. I'm a little confused.
Sounds like you've set the stage for answering your own question. A Bruja and a Gangrel. and with me, as I'm sure you already know, 2 other gangrels, deciding and choosing to not only be a part of the Camarilla, but to be leaders in the Camarilla. It's a lot different than the Camarilla you might be used to.
You can paint something a different color, doesn't change what it is underneath.
And she's going to take out her phone and be like, for one, we share this in common.
Bravo, you're in the 21st century.
Oh, yeah, you
Look at
have a
them!
phone.
I've lived for hundreds of years, and I've been using that for, a lot longer than the Camarilla has been. So,
Since they came out.
since they came out, yes, I've been up to date. So don't tell me that is an indication of change. It's a little parlor trick, it's fine, but it doesn't change the fact that you are the new government in town. The new master that we must adhere to, the rules that we must follow.
Well, hold on a second. I don't know what makes you think that we would come in here and try to make you be beholden to our rules. You have your own set, and we have ours.
Rules. Do we have rules?
She says, that's hilarious.
I think so too. Seeing as how we're not asking for you to be a part of it, how does it existing affect you?
And Gordon, you would know that from the original founding of the Atlanta Camarilla, you all were given the very paltry small zone of College Park, where you could do your bidding. College Park is maybe 20 minutes across and 20 minutes wide. And so for the Anarchs, you were given freedom under Venture Prince Talbot Rourke, but it was a very, very tiny, the tiny home versus a mansion.
Let me ask you this. How would you feel as someone, if say you were someone at one point sailing the 7 seas, your boundaries are boundless as far as the horizon could see. And then that boundary starts to shrink and shrink and shrink. But you don't mind, because ultimately in the end you still have quite a bit of wiggle room. You can get around, it's not a big deal. There's plenty of room for other fishes in the sea. And then you realize that next thing you know, you can just walk across. You are given scraps to placate, to be subservient, to have a muzzle around your head. That is the situation we are facing here. And so when I thought that we would have fellow Bruja understanding of this situation, knowing what the Camarilla does, the type of philosophies they operate under, that you would be just as likely to be tearing it from, within. That's what we were hoping for. We were thinking, well, perhaps they're infiltrating, perhaps they got this position, and now they're going to tear it from limb. And no.
And Mella's gonna shift back in her chair, cross her legs and her arms and say, "What makes you think I'm not?"
Well, would you like to convince us otherwise then? Because from our standing, we don't see it.
What is it that you want that you don't have right now with the current Camarilla government?
Freedom. Simple as that.
And if you had freedom?
Oh, not just for me. That's a nice start. That's a great start. That'd be fantastic. But I've heard something about your little schools. About your new students, how they are taught the ways of the Camarilla. Not quite unlike the Sabbat.
Oh, it's very different than the Sabbat.
Tell me why.
We give them a choice. We're the ones who offer the opportunity to learn. But if they don't want to, that's on them.
Is that true, do you think?
I have no reason to think she's lying yet.
So anybody in the school is there by choice. because we offered them the opportunity to learn, and they chose that over chaos.
And when they're done, they don't have to stay or join Camarilla here.
And they don't get turned into furniture if they don't listen to their leaders either.
That's well, that's fantastic to hear, I'm sure. But what is it that they teach at these schools? The ways of the Camarilla? The ways of the Masquerade?
How
The ways
to
of being a kindred?
not be a murdering psychopath.
It's a lot of etiquette, really. Not that you have to follow it, but more guidelines instead of rules.
Right, well, that's one fear assuaged, I suppose. Do you have any questions you would like to ask? Perhaps? Any concerns on your end, Betty?
You say you give them choice. Choice to be there, choice to stay once they're done. Why? Why not just influence them to stay with the Camarilla? Since you're already there and not an Anarch.
Where is the freedom in that? If you make a choice for somebody, that takes away their freedom. If that's what you want,
So then what is the point?
to offer them the best possible life in their unlife. I would rather know where my next meal is going to come from and that I have a community of people who will protect me than be running around the streets of France during the Revolution, not knowing where my next meal was going to come from, not knowing if I was going to be found out.
Not knowing if some Sabat asshole was going to diablerize you and leave your corpse in a shallow grave.
Yeah.
And Aaron, as someone who went through the Lost Childer School, this is a particularly needling conversation for you.
You boy, you seem awfully quiet.
I'm a little concerned for my friend.
Which friend? I can be your friend. If you can be concerned for me, that'd be fantastic.
I'll be your friend.
The one with the boa around his neck.
Speaking
Like he
of,
said, pet. It's a pet.
speaking of,
Well,
I guess more of a question for Alice than the storyteller. Jackson is just staring at you the entire time, even when talking to Gordon. So what are you doing?
Oh,
If I know that you're staring, I'm probably going to have a little fun with that. You'll have, like, the tongue will flick around like on his face. I might constrict just a little bit or start making a few loops.
And Mark is staying perfectly still
Explain.
through it and is just like rolling his eyes.
Has he
like-
given me like any like of our code signals to know that he actually is okay?
Yeah,
Like,
of,
okay.
of your code signals, he has signaled that he is okay.
Okay.
He has signaled to you that, because the invitation did say that there were 3 people here, he has signaled this is the third.
Yeah, with the Alice
And,
comment,
and he seems more just like,
annoyed.
yeah, he's just like, these guys.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Like maybe slither across his face as I'm making my rounds. Like,
He's
yeah,
like-
I'm playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
As someone who went through the school, coming from outside the city, it's not brainwash. I would much rather at least have the knowledge of what I'm getting into in this city, rather than just being alone and not knowing what's going on.
Gordon, are we alone? I don't feel alone.
have you?
No.
He almost points at
Yeah, but were you embraced by a complete stranger who left you for dead behind a barn and had no idea what you were or who you were afterwards for years?
Oh yes, by a Camarilla bastard. Yes. Yes.
Oh, mine was an Anarch bastard. There's bastards on both sides.
Fair point, I suppose.
Sect doesn't make the person.
Yes, but the laws of the Camarilla kind of force it, whereas it's more individualistic on the anarchy side.
Well, Atlanta doesn't operate that way. And
Then why keep the Camarilla name? You could be an anarchy dominion. You could have a
Technically,
baron. You could have.
You could,
technically they don't.
you could just
What's it called here?
leave.
Renochery,
Yeah.
Camarilla.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Leave.
Yeah.
Leave where?
Why?
If you want to set sail and make your own dominion, there's plenty of space out there.
Wait.
Atlanta is my home.
Wait,
and
wait.
Gordon wants to stay here with us, so no.
And mind you, I've sailed quite far and quite wide, and I must tell you, the seas have kind of diminished. There's a reason I must relegate to my situation here.
Global warming is a bitch.
So your biggest whining point is that you're stuck in
Watch your
college.
words.
I'll say what I want. Is that you're stuck in College Park?
Constrict a little tighter.
That is one of my points. More so, I'm just concerned about a wayward anarch, or at least what I had hoped to be an anarch. We have struggled and fought to get to this point. We have worked against the Camarilla the entire time. There's a reason why Theo Bell had to do what he had to do in the last convention.
Who's that?
And then I will whisper to him the lore quickly. So he understands.
That actually hurts him more. He's like, "Ugh."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care about politics all that much. Okay, so
That explains
putting
a lot.
aside the desire to burn things down for the sake of burning them down, which I can appreciate, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The point of us coming here, besides Mark, no offense, the point of us
I figured
coming
there was more to it.
here was because Alpha's willing to
Yeah.
renegotiate that and talk, right?
Oh,
Yes, that was a big part of this meeting. But I will be honest, my number one priority is to make sure that person with your friend comes out alive. Whatever that looks like, I'm happy to make it happen.
is
but
he a ghoul? I thought he was a ghoul.
He's cool.
Shouldn't he be undead already? Oh, then yes, I could definitely give you him. Well, I can't really promise him alive,
no.
but, at least intact.
You know, there's one thing that I don't envy you for. And that's just inherent cruelty.
I'm just being playful.
But you're being cruel. And I just don't think that you have to do that and still be free.
Certain actions are taken when you must force a response. We've been trying for ages to get what is ours.
Where in Atlanta would you like to be outside of College Park? Would you like to be able to just be anywhere in Atlanta? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's a good start, yes. That'd be nice, yes. And not just for me. I don't like these boundaries that the Camarilla creates for anybody.
I agree.
Well, that was easy. Do you have any concerns, requests?
Why then still call it the Camarilla? It sounds like you guys are already on path for Anarch.
I've asked my prince the same thing, but here we are.
And that's the other thing, Prince.
Yeah, that whole...
He doesn't like it either. None of us
Feudal
like the terms.
So change it. You have the power to change it,
I
so
do.
change it.
You're right.
So why haven't you? And don't give me some political bullshit answer. I've lived through quite a bit of that.
And if anybody here knows Mel, I'm just gonna aside as storyteller, anybody here who actually knows who Mel is knows political bullshit is literally what she is made of from the depths of her soul. I don't really know.
I mean, if we just went out saying things weren't as they were, you would also be in danger because
There are
why.
cruelty. There's cruelty in the Camarilla just as much as there is in Anarchs. It's a little more sanctioned, though.
And that's what makes it worse. That they intentionally do it. They've created a system for it. We're just being human. Or, well, what was once human, but we're just being people, acting on our own vices. But this, what they do it by the books. They do it with laws and justify it, stating that they were in the right.
And Mel and Jackson, your phones buzz?
I just pull mine out and look at it.
I do not touch mine.
Rude.
I know.
We're having a conversation.
I know.
It's a message from
Constrict's a
Sybil.
little tired.
It is a picture of the new building documents, and it lists the Atlanta airport and College Park area. The SI is moving into College Park.
And Mel is not talking now because what they said make a lot of sense, and she doesn't want to match their eyes right now.
So, be that what it is, because, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you. At the same time, don't we have bigger problems?
We always have bigger problems.
Right, like
Always.
the Sabbat. Or people who have sunlight and priests and whole bunch of information networks at their disposal who know about us.
And while he's talking,
want
I get
to
my phone
kill
out to look
us
at.
and want to experiment on us and want to turn us against each other. Don't we have... I don't want to say more important things to worry about, because obviously this is very important to you, and I get why. But don't we have common interests in working together rather than just trying to destroy each other too? When there are monsters on every side, shouldn't the few of us that aren't be more focused on fixing that problem?
Let me ask you this. When you create an arrow, you have the arrowhead, you have a shaft, then you have these little fletches, the feathers at the end, that guide this arrow. And the entire purpose of it is for all of that to align, that when you shoot it, it will fly straight and true and hit its mark. If one of those components, say even one feather, was off, that arrow will not fly. It will not hit. So my issue here is, yes, I would love us all to work together. I would love for all of us to come together and fight the monsters that you say are all around us. But what's the point if none of us can actually hit them? Because we're not aligned.
So let's fix that.
And let's start, because while your intentions might be true, as long as you have a hostage, half of what you say is going one in at the ear and out the other.
Mark is probably looking a little tight there.
I'm gonna look over. Alice, play nice.
I'll release and I'll slither down, and as I'm slithering, I'll come out of the
Mark
shape
goes,
change.
Ta-da!
Just having fun. I could still feel his heartbeat. He wasn't dead.
Yes,
More
but no
nine.
worries.
I was fine.
We could change that.
Okay.
You
We
could
came
also
here
not.
on happy terms.
You don't look so happy.
I'm happy.
I'm
Are you
great.
happy?
I'm alright.
Let's not threaten Mark anymore, okay? You've had him for several months, and
Did you ever feel threatened, Mark? I don't think we've ever actually
Oh, we became the
intentionally-
best of friends.
know.
Yeah,
They
this
only
is
started
great.
threatening me when I started being a dick.
See?
I think that's just him and by nature, and I don't know if you ever felt it. But,
Play tic-tac-toe
he's an
and
asshole.
everything.
I know.
That's
we
me to
did.
anyone
I play
who's not
TikTok.
Mel.
Tic
I mean, that's how we
Tic
bonded.
tac toe.
What's it called? Yes.
Tic tac toe. He
Yeah, we
showed
played
his
a
ass,
lot
and
of
we would show
tic-tac-toe.
ours. That's how it went. We were never the instigator.
And with Alice gone now, Mark's rises and he just walks over to Mel to stand kind of behind your shoulder, and he just puts a hand kind of on your back, just like to comfort you.
I think To Aaron's point, though, you open this as a hostile negotiation, not an actual conversation. And that's probably the worst thing you could have done.
Let's make things clear. I tried the other approach. We've tried conversations. We've tried negotiations.
With whom?
Once again, we didn't know what you are now. All we understood is you were a bunch of Brujas now being buddy-buddy with the Camarilla. Jumping into their little circle, inner circle. So how could we trust any of you?
Was Prince Talbot the person that you all negotiated with?
Storyteller.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
That would explain.
He
Right,
was not all.
Oh, storyteller. Just remind me, he was not there for that whole
But I've heard about it.
situation
I've
we
heard
had.
about him.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he wasn't all.
He
he
was
wasn't
not
running it
in
all.
town when you guys had to execute Talbot.
We executed.
Good job.
Oh, congratulations.
Fantastic, but to be fair, honestly, darling, one Camarilla prince trading out for another Camarilla prince, they're all the same. They've always been
Alpha
all
is
the
different.
same.
He is definitely different.
I've heard that
I know,
so many
so
times.
many
What's the saying we used to say back in the day? Was it lipstick on a pig?
When was the last time you can remember a gangrel being prince of the Camarilla?
Was there ever a gangrel prince?
It is extremely rare.
Rarely
Rare to the
still
point that
happen.
you personally have not experienced it.
But even having that as the prince in Atlanta, there's still the Camarilla outside of here.
He has to answer to someone. I mean, there's still the hierarchy of the Camarilla.
That's the rub. Titles mean things. Names mean things. Whether you want to change them or not, they have significance. And when you see those who you trusted, those you thought were one of your own, take up a certain name that was kind of our boogeyman, that was kind of our enemy, it's kind of tough to swallow.
Don't you go by a title, though?
Do I go by a title?
You are Baron Gordon of College Park.
Agreed, I do. And that means a different thing.
Okay.
Don't really know what, I just have the title, they just gave it to me, and I've just been here as such.
But it's important to you.
Exactly. And just like that, Prince is a very significant...
Baron is still lower than a prince, and so when they
According
gave
to
him
who?
that title,
According to who?
according to you guys,
No, not according to me.
Not according to me.
According to the Camarilla.
Okay, but as previously established, one, I don't know why, because I don't give a fuck. They don't call themselves a Camarilla.
Who cares?
Anyway. And Alpha said he was willing to talk to you.
where is
Alexander?
Alpha?
Yes.
Why didn't he
You
come?
called because you called us.
I mean, you have a direct line, do you not?
Okay. Well, it would have been rude to send someone else, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Or you could have brought him with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's busy.
And to be fair, we weren't sure what.
There's a whole Sabat issue.
Enough for that.
There's a whole
We're
Sabat
not
issue of
important
people
enough
being
for-
murdered. You know, that thing.
I mean,
Are
that
you not
guy was-
aware?
All right. Let's cut to the chase here. What is it that you want that we can give you to stop being intentionally hostile to people who have no problem with you? There is nobody sitting here. There's nobody I know in my immediate circle.
That's the problem.
Your immediate circle.
So are you concerned with the other members of the Camarilla and how they may treat you because you are Anarch?
We have an issue with
Win
there
her. Oh my god.
She's smarter than she looks.
we have an issue
not.
with there being a Camarilla here in the first place.
So, as the minority in this city, you are suggesting that there being more people who subscribe to a different thought process than you is unfair.
Is that what we said?
No,
I think they missed the point.
completely missed the point.
There's simply being another thought process out there. There's simply being another
A thought process that likes
Community.
to dismantle our collective thought process.
Your phone's buzz again.
I just pulled my phone and look at it again.
Okay.
It's
You are
also,
Something so
clearly
significant.
not from.
You know
It's
what?
from Sybil.
Right.
We can give that a pass.
it's more pictures from inside the SI office, and it is 4 dossiers, 3 of which all 4 have pictures paperclipped to them. 3 of the pictures are the people who stand before you.
I just hold my phone out and show it to Mel.
Will you give that to him, please?
Got a phone number?
Yes, of course.
Can I have it?
Are we becoming friends? Are we becoming friends? Am I getting a new phone?
Just give him your phone,
No.
Jackson.
No.
Then show it to him.
And so, Gordon, what you see is documents from a company called Ignatius Pharmaceuticals. You have no recollection of this company. You've had no run-ins with them. But Ignatius Pharmaceutical dossiers that are 4 files with pictures of you, Alice, Betty, and Diesel.
These are our photos.
Yeah.
Terrible shot.
I know.
I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very bad surveillance.
Second
No,
Inquisition
it's-
surveillance isn't always the best.
Come again.
Second Inquisition hunters. We have a mole
Fantastic.
so that we can find out what they're doing and try to stay a step ahead of them. And they are apparently monitoring y'all.
And we have succeeded up until now. Well, really, we've succeeded multiple times in evading them because of that person. And now we're offering to you this information at no cost, with no expectation of anything in return.
Also, the text I got earlier was the fact that they're planning on moving into College Park.
Fuck.
Yep.
Fuck.
Remember that whole common enemy, mutual problem thing that I was talking about? Yeah, that. Because we are actually willing to help you with that, because I kind of actually give a fuck what happens to the people here.
You don't have to be Camarilla for us to live in the same city peacefully. And we, as law enforcers that you claim that we are, I
But
don't
you
like
are,
it. I don't like it
I
either.
mean, rules, right?
How about this?
Why?
Get us a seat at the table with your prince. We'll renegotiate. And we won't come in a threatening manner. I promise you, we meant Mark no harm. We actually became quite close friends. I'd love to take him out for dinner
Very
sometime.
close.
I know they would love to take him out for a date. If we had it. But
Oh,
we...
he's got that wife thing, though. We gotta.
I mean, we are in the 21st
can-
century, darling.
This
We
is true. Polyamory is a thing.
Polyamory was always a thing. They just now are starting to realize it.
The point is, we're going to share.
Mel, do you think that would be safe? Not this, but meeting with Alpha.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
I don't think Aaron wants to play with us. That was your name, right, Aaron?
Sorry.
I'm
Indoctrination, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
not hungry.
I know they were, though. You felt a little peckish.
I could absolutely eat. What do you think, buddy? Interested in playing?
Twins.
No, thank you.
Pity. His loss.
One of these days.
I can guarantee you a seat at the table,
Fantastic.
but it will be in Elysium.
There's that bitter
And-
tone, that bitter taste a little bit. You know, you think you're
Between
having a
now and
tart.
then, as a show of good faith, on your end, you will not provoke any more of these outbursts in my Elysiums.
So remove the bombs. Got it.
Bombs.
Bombs? No, who said bombs? No one
You
said
did.
bombs.
You explicitly
I
said
said
it.
bombs. My bad. Sorry.
I think you're having a problem with the accent. You said bums.
I've been trying to work on it. It's been tough. 700 years. It's kind of hard to change at this point.
Bless his heart.
I try.
No more provocation. Just lay low until this meeting. And I believe that you will come out satisfied.
Wait. What is your definition of
Exactly.
Emphasis on the laying low, because if you are catching the
SI.
attention of the SI, that means
Dude, we didn't do
that
anything.
you might get killed before you even get a chance to come to that table, and it will
I
have
don't
nothing
think
to
that's
do
gonna
with us.
One thing I can tell you is a benefit of being within a Camarilla-like organization is that we at least have the foresight to be on the lookout for this before it happens. That dossier, you have been doing things that are reckless, and you have been going around in a way that makes them notice you. And at least with the option of additional protection and community, maybe they won't capture you and torture you and turn you into clones of yourself.
Kinky.
And if that's what you want, you have the freedom to choose that. And Mel is going to stand up with Mark and walk out.
And Mark easily walks with you.
Hi,
And
Marky.
he kind of pauses once you get outside of the hangar. He pauses by the door because he's not quite sure if he should shut the door or not. Because you have two friends still inside. So Mark is keeping an eye on you, but also keeping an ear to the situation.
It'd be funny to watch him try.
As Mark is leaving, you just hear Gordon yell out, "Circle middle."
And Gordon replies back, "Fuck you."
Bye, Mark.
Or Mark, yeah.
Don't blow up any Waffle Houses.
Are they really that good? I've never.
Promise.
It's where people go for safety.
I understand. I promise.
Safety is an illusion. For all of us.
Doesn't have to be.
Whether you're Camarilla or not, if you're on the run and you have an option just for a quiet meal, you take it. And if someone puts a bomb underneath your seat, where is that person going to eat?
Where did we put them under? Was it a Waffle House?
It is not a Waffle House.
I promise you, your safe zones are quite safe. That is sincere.
You know, when the boogeyman does come calling, I don't think your Waffle House is gonna matter whether it's considered kindred safe or not.
We've had our fair share of boogeymen.
There's more in this city than just Camarilla. Take care.
Well, I'm getting bored. You can leave now. Bye.
I walk out.
Okay. And Jackson?
I've just been leaning against a wall for most of this. Just shake my head.
Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like strolling out casually.
And so once the last one of you are out, Mark shoves the door completely closed and gets you guys to the car. And he gets in the car and he's like, God, they are dicks.
Mel throws the duffel bag at him.
And he takes it and he opens it. He's like, woo! and he like immediately takes the wet naps and is like cleaning himself. And he goes, you know what was kind of a surprising thing, Mel? And like, this is gonna sound weird. And he like looks to the two guys. He was like, y'all repeat this, I will kick your ass. I didn't realize until the blood bond faded that you've become my best friend. So I'm really glad to see you.
Yeah, that's probably enough for Mel to lose her mind. But she keeps it together because this has been all politics, and she like kind of pats him on the leg and says, I was willing to burn down the city for you if that tells you how much you matter to me. So.
And he goes, aww.
And then she like throws.
He just kind of pulls you in and like kisses the top of your head.
And she like throws a letter at him. And she says, "Don't read this in here, but read it later."
And he tucks it into his shirt pocket.
How bad does he smell? That's what I want to know.
Oh God!
Okay,
awful.
good. So we definitely
For you,
are putting
Gangrel,
this
this is bad. It is bad.
Off.
The
Yeah,
window is
he-
down. I'm sure.
He has showered monthly.
If you're in the
I'm
back
his own choice. Not
seat
ours.
with Mark, I'm going to shadow cast, so they have like a little partition in the back to catch up.
Very sweet.
You know, I get hungry for that. That's
As I start the car, especially because the engine's revving up, this nice old sports car, I say, I think the other set of anarchs in this city are going to be much more interested in chatting and less volatile
How would you know that?
because I've talked to them.
First Sabbat and now Anarch. Let me guess. Do you have good friends who are Fae as well?
No, they're fucking terrifying.
Just a matter of time, though. Hey, Jackson?
I mean, they're the ones who put up posters looking for me. Who the fuck does that? It's weird. Anyway.
Regardless of everyone's beliefs, I'm feeling Shield and Hydra is coming along. If there's going to be a change, just give me the honor of knowing it before things start popping off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and so you guys ride back home, and Gordon, they have left. You guys have your relative silence. And you get a text from Diesel, and it just says, "How'd it go, buddy?"
Well, it could have gone better, but hold off for now.
And you get back a frowny face with a picture of the King and Queen Towers. And he says, "I'll get that bitch, though."
Oh, I'm banking on it. And I give him the hug emoji.
And,
like the comfort emoji.
yeah. And, Diesel goes, "I've got my own thing to do, though."
Well, you have the right. Go ahead.
And so Diesel stops replying for a bit.
Alright. I turn to Alice and Betty like, well, you should probably leave here. Don't really want to catch the stray dogs getting our scent.
That's fair.
And I think we try to just leave the area considering that College Park is now a target.
Waffle House?
Waffle House.
Let's go see what it's about.
And we head to
I hear it's fantastic at 3 a.m.
And so as you guys head to a Waffle House, you do notice that as you walk in and you choose your booth, the cook does not appear to be breathing. And you realize you are within like company. And there's a woman sitting at the bar, all in black, kind of goth club clothes, very pale, long black hair. And she's got a gentleman sitting beside her in a 3-piece black suit, and he's bald-headed, very pale skin. They are breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But something about the gentleman is very strange. And they're just sitting there. They seem to notice you when you come in, but they don't acknowledge you really. It's Waffle House. It's the middle of the night.
Just take a seat, I suppose. Is there one that would it give us a better purview of the area?
Yeah, there are booths near the front windows, and they kind of look out onto the highway.
Oh no, I meant for inside the waffle. Well, a combination of both.
Yeah, Waffle House kind of has seating along the edges of the wall, and then there is a bar in the middle, and that is where the woman and the gentleman are sitting.
Got it. Yeah, so I'd say we take one of those booths to kind of make sure we're aware of our surroundings.
Okay.
Betty's
And-
gonna sit where she can see this gentleman
Okay.
out of the corner of her eye.
And you notice that the gentleman is not eating. He has nothing in front of him. The woman ravenously eating bacon. She is absolutely, she's got about 3 portions in front of her, as well as like a triple order of hash browns, scattered, covered, smothered. But the gentleman, he's just sitting with her, perfectly still, not eating, not doing anything.
But he's breathing.
Appears to be.
I don't like that word. Do we see them eyeing us at all? Looking at us at all?
The woman has definitely given you kind of a long look. You get the vibe though that it's not very inquisitive. It's more kind of when you when you go somewhere and someone's wearing a geek shirt of a franchise.
It's like when
you're like,
during conventions, cosplay are walking into a more remote restaurant, and everybody's going, "What the fuck is? Why are they okay?"
well, it's more they're kind of looking at you like, oh, more supernaturals are in here right now.
Oh, okay.
It's a familiarity of like, oh.
Okay. I kind of just, when she's looking at him, like I give a little wink and sit down.
And she kind of sits back a little bit and leans around her male companion to look at you a little bit more, and she's like, and goes back to her bacon.
Still got it.
Of course you do.
I think she's flirting, but what's with him?
He's bald.
Gordon, really, you must not be that superficial.
I mean, it's kind of my vibe.
I get that.
I mean, it's fair.
I mean, there's nothing more I can say about him. I don't know the man. I don't know who he is. He's bald. And
So you can't help
strange, just sitting there and just.
that. I mean, you don't know
bald.
that. He might be able to help that.
Gordon, did you ever turn off Sense the Unseen?
I did not.
Then let me amend the man.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, where ladies, you saw a gentleman in a three-piece black suit, bald-headed. Gordon, you saw him at first, but then with your Sense the Unseen, as you looked at him a little longer, as they were wondering what his deal was, you start to kind of notice that this is not a man in a three-piece suit, bald-headed.
3 weasels in a single man.
It is a 8-foot-tall thing wearing black rags of a long robe all the way down to the floor. The hood comes over the face and there is just black nothingness, and the hands that are folded nicely on the bar are more skeletal than they are hands with old rotted flesh dripping from the hands. But he's still sitting very politely next to the woman.
Would I know what that is at all?
In your experience, the only time you have seen something with this duality of appearance would be in your few interactions with mages. Some mages seem to have a buddy of sorts.
I knew it was the mage. I knew it. I remember.
So I think he just kind of stares at her. Would he be, knowing Gordon, would he be upset with mages at all? Like, what is his relation?
They're
to
a little
that?
freaky to you. They're unpredictable.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think he's just at this point. Like, he initially was flirting, and then now it feels like a bad aftertaste. And
Yeah.
he's like, fucking spellcasters.
What?
The bald man. Not a man. Not bald either. Maybe under
Just
the
let
hood.
everyone in here, don't they?
I mean, they did say it was a safe house.
Fair.
God damn it. Now we have to deal with that. God damn it. Never, in all my time, never has things gone well with a goddamn spellcaster.
Should we leave?
I think it'd be best.
And by now the
Go
cook is coming up, and she comes up with her notepad and goes, "All right, what do you have? Oh, okay.
Hello.
Do you want food or drink?
What will you two have?
Drink.
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 All right.
Perhaps with something that has been.
No, we got you.
Oh.
Are you new?
I mean, this is my first Waffle House experience. I would like to know more.
Oh, I'll make sure to start a fight for you.
What?
Right?
I mean, I've always been up for a brawl, but what?
I'm confused right now.
I'm mostly joking. And the cook kind of flashes a little bit of fang at you. He goes, "Don't worry. We'll have whatever you need. Would you like sweet tea or coffee?"
Rum, if possible.
I can work that out.
Excellent.
Dealer's choice.
Okay.
Coffee.
Got it. And the cook walks off and goes over to the drink station, and you see the mage girl kind of like reaching over like, hey. And he's like, "What?" She goes, "Is it possible instead of you bringing me these small orders of bacon, that you give me just one plate with about 18 slices. And the guy goes, I guess.
Did she just Ron Swanson?
And she goes, fantastic. You are my favorite Waffle House chef. I need you to know that. You are my favorite. And he goes, are you high or drunk? And she's like, that would be a question for the gentleman at the Masquerade. And he's like, both. Okay. And he goes to make her bacon and get it on the grill. And he finishes making your drinks. And he brings you back over. Gordon, you have a coffee cup. And a coffee cup as well for you that you can blatantly see is warmed blood. That is nice and dark and viscous. Yours is a dark drink, but it does have the hint of rum coming off of it. And for Alice, you have what looks to be a strawberry sweet tea.
Interesting.
Well, shall we?
Thank you, darling.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night. Good night, I'd say. Good night.
And Gordon, yours is absolutely rum and warmed blood.
Excellent.
Yours is warmed blood, and for you, it is blood that is quite sweet.
That is.
Like it.
Oh, I could get used to that.
I feel like we need to come to more Waffle Houses then.
Does that
We're
mean we
missing
have
out.
to? Does that mean we have to join the Camarilla?
Oh God, no, God,
Okay.
no.
Don't
Oh God, no.
say
we have
that.
We have a mage here. They're not part of the Camarilla. I feel like this is just a common ground.
Okay.
And
Maybe
two
we should have held the
gentlemen,
meeting here.
Ooh,
two
why
gentlemen
did you
walk
change
in.
The other one here.
and the two gentlemen who walk in very much look like skater hippie dudes, long hair, not well kempt, denim jackets that are a little ripped, and they walk in and they're like, "Hey, Talia," and she turns around, she's like, "Oh, fuck off," and they're like, one day, girl, one day," and she's like, "I don't fuck dogs, thanks," and they go and sit down, and she's just like,
Is that the chef that they were talking to, or who was it that they were talking to?
they were talking to Talia, the
girl.
mage woman
The mage.
at the
Okay,
bar.
yeah, okay, yeah, that was the mage. Okay. And we just. How do I get a different vibe off of these two?
They
That's
smell completely like werewolves.
I was about to say, she said dogs. Do you think she's meaning
Yeah, I smell them all over here.
me? Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, this is fantastic. You know, this is nice. We've always wanted a place where we could all just relax. Maybe they were right. It's a good thing we didn't set the bombs here.
Yes. Would have been, an absolute tragedy.
True, true, true.
Still don't trust them though.
I know, absolutely
No,
not.
never trust a candy. Ugh.
And you see one of the guys going up, and he's like leaning over to try and whisper to Talia, and she's got her hands resting on the bar, and you see under her hands that the bar appears to age about 1,000 years in a second as it just desiccates and crumbles and just disintegrates under her touch and age. And she's like, "I said leave me the fuck alone. I will call the keeper."
At this point, Gordon, against his better judgment, gets up and goes, "Gentlemen, would you like a drink, perhaps?
This will be good.
I feel, perhaps in more welcomed company."
And you see the wraith gentleman turn to look at you, and now that you're close enough, it's the same skeletal but with skin falling off and dripping off, very late stage Romero zombie.
Okay.
And he just gives you a nod. And ladies, you see nice gentleman in a suit just nodding to Gordon very politely as he puts an arm around Talia. And the werewolf that is standing there is like, fine.
Sorry, old chap. Next time, better luck, huh?
If it wasn't for the treaty, I'd kick your ass.
Oh, I don't need no treaty to kick yours, buddy. But I could certainly try. Would you like to take it out back?
On Elysium grounds. And he goes back to his seat.
Freaking poodle.
He's like,
Plays fetch.
No, be nice.
You got those nice collars.
Dude.
and it's about this time you see the chef like suddenly look at his radio, and he goes over to it and turns it up and leans in and says that there has been an armed gunman inside the King and Queen Towers, and that CEO Tabitha Hernandez has been abducted.
Do I know about this?
That is the Ventru Primogen.
Perfect.
And
do we hear this?
You get a text from Diesel to a group chat of him selfieing with a very nicely dressed Latina woman with her hair tightly pulled up and little leopard print lapels to her black suit jacket, and she looks pissed. But Diesel's very much like,
Oh, look, he's making friends.
I thought
him-
he was on. Did he go on a date tonight?
It looks like, and I send him.
Looks like he is now.
I send a gif of Denzel Washington, the one where he goes, "My man."
I'm gonna send a heart emoji.
And then I said, "Have fun on your date."
and he replies with, sad about my bombs.
They're still in place. You'll be fine. Plenty of opportunities. If nothing else, we'll have a nice celebratory firework.
And he sends back finger guns.
Hey. And then we go back. I go back and sit down at my booth. I'm assuming Tabitha joins us at this point, or
No, Diesel has abducted Tabitha.
no, not Tabitha.
and
Sorry, the
Talia.
Talia. Yes.
Yeah, Talia has come to sit down with you all. The gentleman with her has stayed sitting at the bar, but he has now turned slightly to where he is facing the Garo.
Okay. Oh, the werewolves.
Yeah, he's facing them but not doing anything. He's just kind of like, please stay seated.
I turn to Talia. You do know that he would be a better deterrent if he didn't have his little disguise.
Oh, that's right, I forget. Yes, but can't really have him walking about the way he looks, though.
Yes, but he's so bold.
He is. I tell him all the time that
Nothing
he's
against
quite
bald
a
people,
handsome
He
man.
doesn't have the head shape.
Maybe a hat.
A bowler hat would really work with
Yes.
Oh, they can't see him, but you can.
That would be
Interesting.
fantastic. Yes.
Once again, don't get me wrong. Bald look is a fantastic look, but you have to have the right head shape, and I'm sorry, his is kind of slawing off.
Okay, we
He's-
get it. You don't like
He's
bald
attached
people.
to this.
I didn't say
look.
that. That is not what is.
Well, you
Words
keep
in my
going
mouth.
on and on about
To be
it.
fair, Gordon, you really are very insistent on the
just
bald
look at
is
me.
not okay.
I mean,
it's
we get that, like,
beautiful.
you have beautiful hair.
We
And
love
she
it.
pulls out and sets a solid platinum pistol on the table, an old style Smith & Wesson.
Who does?
The girl.
Oh,
And she just sets it on the table to get you all to stop talking. And she goes,
well, that is a beautiful piece right there.
thank you. So, what is your deal? You're new. I don't like new.
I mean,
We're not new, dear. We're
Not really.
You're new to me.
Not necessarily.
I mean, it's a big city. You've
It
been
is a
new
big
to
city.
many people. I would
and
say.
you don't sound like you're from here, so.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so maybe you're the new one, you see.
Yes. But
We're
you're
just,
new
we're
to
just
me.
new to this Waffle House. We've been here for ages, darling.
Okay, well, this is my regular Waffle House, so I would like to know who you are.
I mean,
Oh, were we supposed to get permission to come to the
No, it's
Waffle
not permission, darling. It's. I come here all the time. I would like to not shoot you with this.
I thought
feel
that
like
anybody
I
could
don't-
come in here, though. I didn't that this was gonna be like a thing. Like, okay, so
No, I'm not going to
no,
shoot you in the Waffle House. But if I think you're going to hurt me, I'm just going to follow you home in the daytime and shoot you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did help her.
You did.
Yes,
You
that
did
was
help
helping.
me.
Confused.
That
You
was
did help
helping.
me,
Yes,
and that's
we are
why
on the same
and you're
page.
very
Yes.
cute. And I'm trying to find out who you are.
Don't play his ego, dear.
Oh, but
It's not
please
an
do,
ego.
please do.
He knows. He's
Darling, if you
cute.
knew my history, you would know it's not an ego stroke. My bar,
no.
it's in the floor.
Honey, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
I'll take it.
his head
I like
goes.
her.
But I
Can
want
we
to
be
know who you are
friends?
because if I... Absolutely do.
I'm Alice.
Nice to meet you, Talia.
While we're doing introductions, I'm Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty.
I'm Gordon.
And Gordon.
Yes.
So you're kindred.
Mm-hmm.
That
Gave
much
it
is
away.
obvious. The lack of breathing, dear, practice it.
Oh, yeah, she's right. It's been a while.
So, I don't give three shits about the kindred shit going on. But if I'm going to regularly see you, I would like to be informed of who you are. Because
I think we just
last I
introduced.
heard with the kindred, there are rabid ones running around, destroying everything. Thus, the gun.
Oh, not rabid.
No, quite
You're
far,
not
far from
rabid.
it. No, far from it.
This
Little
gun,
off center, maybe. Some,
this gun will
according to
rot
some.
your body from the inside if I shoot you. So,
Ooh, kinky.
if that's what you're into, darling,
I mean, I'm into certain things, if you are willing to show me, but that's up to you. Of
that's
course, I would like to be
when I
existing
finish my
afterwards.
bacon, we'll have that conversation.
Looks like we're
So
going
are
home tonight.
you? You're not the rabid ones. Are you the ones that like everyone being in harmony, or do you not?
You're being quite vague. I feel like you don't quite understand. I mean, I'm
I
kind of
don't understand anything, Kindred. I know that we have a treaty
Let's just-
with a thing called the Camarilla, where we...
Not that.
No,
not
that one.
No, not
much,
that one.
no.
Not that one at all.
Well, we have a treaty that says that I don't kill you, so if you're not Camarilla, then we don't have a treaty.
We could be friends.
Technically, I mean, we're kind of in negotiations with the Camarilla.
If you're in negotiations, I'll let that stand for now.
Let's just say we're just of equal positive nature. Opportunist. Opportunists. We believe everybody should have their rights and the freedom to do what they want with it. Including mages and poodles.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Well, no, I met quite a few that are kind and quite amazing, actually. They just,
Oh, wait till you see their leader. She's absolutely...
Oh, don't tell me with a good time, dear.
Oh, she's gorgeous, but regrettably for you, an absolute lesbian.
Oh.
Oh, yes, you're going to love her. Italian.
Was that on your list? I feel like there was a list and you didn't have something.
Oh, we're going to get along real well if you have a list.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Lists for
fantastic.
different things.
We'll have a girls' brunch.
That sounds fantastic.
I feel left out.
Oh, don't worry, you and I will have a
And I'm back
adult
in.
dinner.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, since I don't have a treaty with you, please understand my open threat. You stay out of my hair, I stay out of yours, unless
what?
I ask you to.
That's
There we go.
better.
There we go. All right, I'm going to go finish my bacon and let Ray calm down slightly because imagine him like the most overprotective father you've ever met. I couldn't get rid of him if I tried.
You have a great head, Ray.
And he like flips around really quick and you see that like skeletal face rotate back around to you and he
Cheers,
just
mate.
nods and he turns back staring at the Garu and she goes and sits back down beside Ray and is like, calm down, big guy.
First thing I've learned long ago is if you want to get with a girl, make her father happy.
You're not wrong.
Maybe
She's
you
just-
should try, not.
I didn't say to his
talking
face. I didn't say to his face.
You mean you've been pretty vocal about it, though, Gordon, just a little bit. And what if she tells him?
That's true. Hey, what's done is done.
And so across town, you guys got back home. And it wasn't long after you got home, thanks to the traffic, that you get the news alert that an armed gunman stormed into the King building and CEO Tabitha Hernandez has been abducted.
Chances it's related?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is text Thomasina and check in on her to make sure
100%.
she's okay.
No response.
Then I obviously, I guess before that happened, I will have ushered Mark into the bathroom where he is allowed to stay as long as he wants to.
The shower has been going since
Good.
you got here.
Good.
And you just hear him actually call out, God, I love rich buildings with unlimited hot water.
And then I'm going to, so I texted Thomasina while they're chatting, and you think it's related to them?
I don't believe in
They're so
coincidences.
incredibly disorganized. How could they have
They're
managed?
incredibly inept. I get that, but there were 4 people in the photos that Sybil sent. Not 3.
What would make you think it was them? I mean, why would they do that? What benefit is that to them?
I have. Okay, bear with me. I got better. I used to do a lot of things that made absolutely no sense or benefit to me, like blowing up an entire building. So, well, actually, that was pretty beneficial in the long run. But anyway,
Focus.
I don't think they really have plans. They're like dogs with sticks.
And you all get a message from Alpha, and it just is probably about 2 screens worth of just fuck, and then to Mel only, you get, you secured me a meeting, right?
And I'm gonna respond back and say, yes, comma, but I don't know how good it's going to be. And then ellipses and kind of like a shrugging emoji, and then kind of like the tilted face. And then I'm going to add a bomb, and then I'm going to add, like, I basically, like, just a bunch of emojis that are very similar to the experience we just had, because I don't feel like telling him all the things. Let's see if he gets it from emojis.
And he responds back with, Sybil got to you. And he responds with, okay, I already know this dude's number. I'll get in touch.
And then I'm going to text him back one more time and say, we need to take into account what freedoms they are due just by being in this city when we rewrite the Camarilla.
And you get back, what Camarilla? And that is where we are going to leave off for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to our special guests who will be joining us for the next episode. So we will see you guys next week. Stay tuned. Good night.